I call the member for Chifley.
Thanks, Madam Deputy Speaker. At the outset, I seek leave to amend my own motion by omitting paragraph 2 and replacing it with a new paragraph as circulated in my name, and the opposition has that, and I've also circulated to the front.
Is leave granted? Yes. Leave is granted.
Thank you.
I call the member for Chifley.
Thank you. One of the great privileges I've enjoyed as a Member of Parliament over the past few years has been the opportunity to get out amongst various communities in the Chifley electorate, getting to know how people who've come to call Australia home, how they've set up their new lives, and hearing their stories. One such community, relatively small in number but undeniably big in spirit, is the Bangladeshi community. And perhaps because of the circumstances they've left behind, I found the Bangladeshi community to be particularly community-minded and very generous in spirit. The community often gets together to raise funds to send back to Bangladesh to assist those in less fortunate circumstances and help those affected by issues that I want to raise tonight. But they also extend that generosity to their new home, Australia. I'd mention at this point the energetic contribution of Dr Abdul Haq, who each year, Madam Deputy Speaker, hosts the biggest morning tea at Blacktown's Village Green. And I've been to a number of these events now and seen how the community has rallied to raise much-needed money to fund the Cancer Council's vital research, prevention programs and support services. And my colleagues, the members for Parramatta and Greenway, have also attended and supported these functions, and we've been delighted to also sample the spread of Bangladeshi food and warm hospitality. Dr Haq and the community have also been active in raising funds for those in need back in Bangladesh, and I particularly want to commend the community for the money they've helped raise to lift the quality of healthcare and services in Bangladesh. Their latest project has been focused on harnessing local donations to support the construction of a new hospital, a sizable venture, but one they're determined to see reality. Another person I've been pleased to meet with has been Dr Nargis Banu, an environmental scientist, lives in the electorate of Chifley, who, along with her work in this field, has hosted a community radio program on 2SWR based in Blacktown, and the program since 2004, which has run in our area, is called The Voice of Bangladesh. Through this program, and I've also had a pleasure to participate in the program, Dr Banu works to raise awareness of various socio-cultural issues such as women's rights, domestic violence, multiculturalism and the value of civic participation. Through my connection with the community, I've also come to know of some of the circumstances which resulted in Bangladeshis leaving their homeland to make a new life for themselves in Australia. This nation of over 160 million people only came into being in 1971, but in that time has struggled with division and terrible conflict over the decades. It's challenged by the impact of climate change in a country that's often subject to the terrible flooding and the consequences that stem from that. Despite the economy growing between 5 to 6% since 1996, that's a year, 5 to 6% per year since 1996, political instability, massive problems with income disparity, infrastructure deficiencies, unreliable power supply have all combined to hold back this nation from what it can truly be. Given these circumstances, the best thing that could help ensure Bangladesh can lift itself from its economic and social challenge is widespread political and economic reform. The Bangladeshi Australians I've spoken with expressed their alarm at human rights violations that have occurred, and in particular war crimes that have been committed in conflicts past. As is often the case, Madam Deputy Speaker, the instance of true reconciliation within nations torn by fierce conflict can only happen in part with a commitment to recognise and acknowledge these events, and to also hold to account those that have clearly crossed the line of humanity and engaged in truly horrific acts. The Bangladeshi government, which came to power in 2009, set up tribunals to deal with these war crimes, and long-standing tensions have re-emerged in the community dating back to the bitter war of independence. While one can appreciate why this might occur, Bangladesh cannot afford to move away from the need to continue the pursuit for justice and for the benefit of longer-term reconciliation. But I remain concerned by the reports I hear, and in particular those that have claimed that in the last few weeks over 140 people have been shot dead, with about 25,000 opposition leaders and activists implicated in different cases and arrested. These are matters of great concern, and there can be no winners in the current political climate, and I call on all parties to exercise restraint, advocate non-violence and ensure that reconciliation can occur in a country that's been marred by conflict.